Hello, dear friends. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. Sun Tzu. Opinion piece. Second revolution. Systemic listening. Historic moment. We are the storm. Civic participation. Gold accumulation. Let the storm rage on. Individual sovereignty. The world is watching. Is Trump a time traveler? Attacks against Elon Musk. Let's start. The so-called Second Revolution is a peaceful movement of personal responsibility, civic participation, and local action, according to Mel K. in his book Restoring Power to the People. She highlights that the key to recovering the original republic does not lie in politicians or parties, but in the potential of consolidated individuals. Mel K is a filmmaker and presenter known for her deeply researched and analytical content, which has attracted an audience for over 500,000 subscribers. Mel K says that what we are witnessing is the Second Revolution, a historic and hysterical moment of transformation and resistance akin to a revolution. She speaks of a collective awakening of the population in the face of injustice, media manipulation, and excessive government control. Human beings are becoming aware and fighting for their rights and freedoms in an oppressive system. This approach seeks to empower citizens to become active participants in determining the future, promoting decentralization, self-reliance, and voluntary cooperation as antidotes to digital tyranny and totalitarian social control. According to Mel K, the Second Revolution is not a traditional armed conflict, but a global awakening and ideological struggle. She argues that what we are witnessing is a resistance against what she describes as an attempt to consolidate power by the globalist elite. In her words, this revolution is a movement of ordinary people seeking to regain control over their lives, their government, and their fundamental rights. Mel K stresses the importance of unity over division, helping people to inform themselves, question official narratives, and resist any form of tyranny or manipulation. For her, this Second Revolution is more of a battle for truth and individual sovereignty than a physical struggle. Unavoidable. JFK said, "Those who dare to fail miserably can achieve great things. A revolution is coming that will be peaceful if we are wise enough, compassionate if we care enough, successful if we are fortunate enough, but a revolution that will come whether we want it or not. We can affect its character, but we cannot alter its unavoidability or inevitability." To deal with the fallout from these discoveries, the media has been notified of an upcoming globally coordinated broadcast intended to expose criminal activity. The broadcast would also explain the Gisela principles being played out at that time, the largest transfer of wealth in human history that would change the way the world banks. In short, prepare for a major monetary reset, orchestrated rather than chaotic. These are not half-baked theories. It can be seen in the gold flows, Trump's policy decisions, rumors of a sovereign wealth fund, and an impending forced revaluation. Security. The Storm Rider has always been of the opinion that the current Trump is very well hidden and very well protected, and that most of the leaders are duplicate bodies. He would be in Cheyenne Mountain or in other dimensions and timelines, and perhaps he's a time traveler. But the writer also describes the danger he is in, especially now that he's eradicating the dark side. There is a huge coup and Trump has almost been killed a few times, not only from what you read in the news, but in private. There were many operations against him and still now. Like the cartels, they are trying to get him. So Trump has to clean all this up, and behind this is the army. You are seeing how an entire system is cleaned up. The dark side in all countries will try to create false flag attacks because they are in panic. Storm. The storm is not coming. The storm is already here. The Great Awakening has begun. This is no time to waver. Revelations have set the stage for the ultimate showdown, a fight against those who seek to enslave us under a cloak of secrecy and control. Every drop of information, every truth revealed is another nail in the coffin of the bad guys who thought they could keep us in the dark forever. We are no longer waiting for the storm to hit us. We are the storm. Armed with the truth, we are the warriors in this battle for freedom. Together we will shine a light so bright it will shake the darkness. The world is watching, the elite is shaking, and the time to act is now. This is our reality. The storm is gathering, and we must stand firm, ready to fight, ready to expose the lie. The future depends on our determination. The fight for truth has just begun, and we are the force. Let the storm continue to rage. We are the Great Awakening. We are the ones who will bring down the elite. This is our time, and this is our fight. Reset. Bill Holter believes that the financial reset is already here, where the current system collapses and is replaced by a new system, because the dollar is being rejected and gold is being accumulated. He wants that current economic conditions are precursors to an imminent great reset, where gold could play a central role in the new dynamics of global trade. In this context, he stresses the importance of adequately preparing to face the changes in the emerging new economic reality. And there is a trend of central banks and countries diversifying their reserves away from the dollar that intensified following Russia's war in Ukraine and sanctions. Central banks are buying gold at a pace unprecedented since 1950. In 2023, they acquired 1,037 tons of gold, the second highest annual volume on record. This trend continued in the first quarter of 2024, with a 32% increase in gold purchases from the previous quarter. The price of gold has reached historic levels, trading close to $3,000 per ounce. Some analysts even project that it could reach $3,500 per ounce. This increase in the price and demand for gold reflects the current economic and geopolitical uncertainty. Holter wants that current economic conditions, such as inflation, unsustainable debt, and geopolitical tensions, are precursors to a drastic change in the global financial system. He stresses the importance of preparing for these changes, suggesting that individuals and investors should consider gold and other tangible assets as part of their financial strategy. In short, Bill Holter believes that we are in the midst of a global economic transformation that will lead to a new financial system, and that gold will play a crucial role in this process. This message is clear. prepare for uncertainty, and consider gold as an edge against economic instability. Constitutional crisis. CNN's Caitlin Collins says the US is dangerously close to a constitutional crisis, and it's only been 3 weeks. Collins said, "We are 3 weeks into Trump's second presidency, 3 weeks, and there are now warnings that the US is dangerously close to a constitutional crisis. This concern comes in the wake of several controversial executive actions by the Trump administration, including the temporary freezing of federal funds and the firing of prosecutors who investigated him. This is based on recent events that have generated significant political and legal tension that could lead to a constitutional crisis if not handled properly, where fundamental norms and principles of the political system are threatened or ignored." Economy. The impact of tariffs is not as pessimistic as feared. Western cocoa stockpiles are at record lows. US industrial production records its largest increase in the last 4 years since election. How much gold is there for every inhabitant of the earth? Almost 30 grams. They are preparing for a full gold audit, meaning that they are repatriating gold they might have rented out. Once audited, that gold could form the backbone of a new monetary system. This could signal a radical shift in the status and value of the dollar. Europe. European leaders were horrified when bans criticized censorship laws. EU approves use of insect powder in food production. Italian police arrest 130 individuals in biggest crackdown against Sicilian mafia in decades. USA. Trump and Musk laugh of media attempt to drive a wedge between them. Pennsylvania investigators found evidence of a network that ran the attempted assassination of Trump. USAID funded an organization that fabricated evidence that was used to impeach President Trump. There is a conspiracy to stop Elon Musk. Suddenly, the left hates Elon Musk with a passion, and that's because he's out to get their money. Musk provides technical support to the White House and upgrades outdated technology. Tesla tests explosive dye cables to detect scrap metal thieves. Trump creates Make America Healthy Again Commission. Negotiations. Zelensky rejects Trump deal, demands European army to combat US threat, Sorjafal says. Zelensky rejects Trump deal to keep half of Ukraine's mineral reserves. A high explosive drone pierces the shell of the Chernobyl nuclear plant just as Trump pushes Ukraine toward peace. A retired Russian colonel claims Trump has dirt on Zelensky that will force him to compromise. Hessesh told NATO allies, in quotes, "You can't turn Uncle Sam into the dumb uncle." Controversies. According to Catherine Austin Fitz, the greatest immediate danger is digital ID. According to Jim Stone, a judge declared that Biden's pardons should be voided because Congress declared he was too incompetent to stand trial. A judge determines that fluoride in the water supply is a health hazard. A judge blocks Trump's ban on chemical and surgical mutilation of minors. The White House announced that the Associated Press has been banned from Air Force One indefinitely. RFK Jr. must fix vanishing family farms. The Minnesota Department of Education requires teachers to complete a gender ideology course to become licensed. Audits. the Treasury Inspector General launches an audit of detected fraudulent payments. 14 states sued to block Doge for cutting waste. Federal bureaucrats who tracked Trump agenda will be held accountable, says press secretary. Doge launches bazooka of layoffs. 200,000 federal workers on probation. Department of Veteran Affairs lays off over 1,000 employees. Patrick McShay revelations. U.S. aid has supported a war on farmers and ranchers. U.S. aid has been exposed for laundering billions from taxpayers to spread propaganda and distrust. Will Ron Paul be allowed to audit the Federal Reserve? Were the California fires started by directed energy weapons? Trump signs order putting Doge in charge of federal staff reduction. Mike Vance exposes how U.S. aid funded propaganda pieces to crush political opponents. $1.9 billion in Federal Housing Agency HUD funds that went missing during the Biden administration have just been recovered. White House fires U.S. Aid Inspector General for criticizing aid pause. According to Skyhook, more than $151 million intended for soldiers' meals at 11 major U.S. military bases was spent elsewhere. According to Ian Miles Cheong, the firms paid $32,000 to replace 25 coffee cups and hundreds of thousands of dollars for soap dispensers. The rush of searchers at BleachBit, Wipe Hard Drive, and Offshore Bank in Washington suggest a deep state panic in the federal bureaucracy as the Department of Government Efficiency roots out corruption in NGOs and federal agencies. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.